Looking for a place for the whole family? Come down to the Toucan Mall in Amelia's Ward, Linden. It's the mall that has it all. We have great food, a relaxing atmosphere, and activities for all ages. Tennis, swimming, and a playground. But the fun doesn't stop after dark. There's even a bar and an arcade. And if you aren't ready to go home yet, we've even got a spacious room for your comfort, complete with air conditioning, Wi-Fi, and a private bathroom. The Toucan Mall can also facilitate your event in our spacious conference hall. We also have a theater with films for the entire family. It's the Toucan Mall located in Amelia's Ward, Linden.
Alrighty, a very good evening to all of my friends and relatives and well-wishers and those of you who are celebrating birthdays today. Very happy birth night to you, and I hope you had a wonderful day today. And we had Father's Day that just went by there, and I know the fathers were pretty well taken care of. I had real nice dinner. My wife made a very surprising big dinner and a nice cake. You know those cakes that we talk about at Christmas time, where you don't have any eggs and it's made with all the good things that are healthy for you. Well, I had one of those, and it was really nicely done, and I want to thank her for doing that for me. I have 3 sons, and many of you have a lot of boys and a lot of girls, so belated Father's Day to all of you who didn't celebrate, and all of you derelict dads, I'm sorry for you. You need to get busy doing the right things, right? So happy birthday to all of you today, and I hope that you had a very good, wonderful birthday. Some of you I know, I wouldn't call any names. We're running a little late, or we did run a little late today because of circumstances which are not controlled at times. And when you're doing things live, you know, it takes some more time sometimes. So I want to apologize to you for the late start, giving you time to get yourself together. I call your buddies and so tell them we're on live, and we're going to have some calls that are going to be made, and many of you are going to have an opportunity to air your questions, your views, and so on. And you can start writing them down if you have any questions that are critical. You know, write them down, because you can ask them. I'll give you some time to ask them. No problem. I'll answer the best of my ability. You know, can't answer everything, but I try to. If I don't know, I'll tell you that I'm not sure, or I refer you to something so you can find out, right? Now, I know many of you are waiting to hear my views regarding the decision that was passed down just the other day regarding the state of our country and the no confidence motion and all of that. You know, I like to talk about these things sometimes because they mean a lot to all of us. And even though sometimes I'm controversial, you know, I'm like that. We all don't think the same way, and we all wouldn't believe the same things. But some things you just know that they will end up a certain way because of the little training you had. I'm a Haynes, okay? And I'm saying this not because I don't think that we are capable, but I'm a Haynes, and my initials are J, O, and F. Not because I gave them to me, okay? They were stamped on me and put on my birth certificate, not because of the fact that my parents liked J, O, F Haynes, but I'm a descendant of the Haynes, okay? So, you know, we all have a little bit of legality inside of us. As a matter of fact, when I was in Atlanta, I started to study law, but somehow I didn't feel very comfortable with the fact that, you know, sometimes you gotta do certain things, and I didn't like that. So I decided to not bother with that, but I started it, and I like law. You know, I love it. When one of my friends, and I can call his name Mr. Ram, Christopher Ram, we're good friends. we talked to each other and we good with each other. And so when he was doing law, he invited me. He said, man, Joe, come, we go, I mentioned this over and over. And I thought real hard about it, but I liked my work then. I liked taking care of people. I like to see sick people get better. I could have done it, but I would have had to give up my work for a few years and then get back to it or get into law, whichever one. Maybe I should have done law. But the reason why I did all of this, or said all of that, is because I knew the decision was going to end up the way it is. I said it on my program. I said it to many persons, and it was only obvious that it would end up like that because I talked about the half-man thing. There's no half-man. It's either man or woman, right? Mathematically, there's no half-a-man either, except maybe when they practice in some sort of thing, I don't like the fact that we went that way. Number one, because it's a lot of money to have gone there. It costs a lot of money to have gone through the process of getting to the point where this decision was made. It was already made by our Chief Justice here, and it was appealed again and whatever else, and so that caused it to go to the highest office of the judiciary, and in the end it ended up being the same decision that was made, and it ended up doing more things beginning to happen, or more things came out of it. So sometimes it's good to leave things the way they are, that way you don't have to suffer the others. Okay? Anyhow, there was no suffering except for the fact that it cost a lot of money, and that money could have been used, in my opinion, these are my opinions, okay, to build an institution that could have been manufacturing something that the youths could have gone into, or could have gone towards, bringing back our national service program so that the kids that are not very educated could go into the facility and learn a few skills and come back out and be a contributing factor. Right? The other thing that is not so good in that situation is that it made some of us look bad. Okay? It's telling me that our Constitution needs to be amended so that the terminology can be simplified so that we can interpret it ourselves. Why do we have to have a Constitution that needs to be interpreted by someone else in a land that is not ours? We need to make our laws, and we need to make them so that we can interpret them when the time comes, in the case of anything like this. So the Constitution, in my opinion, needs to be amended so that the terminology can be easily interpreted. And it was made at a time when the language could have been interpreted by those who made it. Simple. They understood, and they made it to accommodate their language. They understood it. Okay, I think we have allowed too many of the old things to stay in place, and they're haunting us today, right? We need to, number one, not have to go the path that we went in the future, if anything happens again, to have foreigners interpret our business. It's our business. Okay, we need to change the laws so that we here can interpret it, and it wouldn't be so costly. And when we interpret it, because we put it together, we'll agree with it. My opinion. Okay? I called it the way it ended up. I knew it was going to end up that way. But for some reason, many others didn't think so. I'm not the lawyer. Right? But I have a lot of legal blood in me, and why you know that? Okay? I understand some things, and I play dumb sometimes because I just want to hear what you're going to say. All right? So I think it was a lot of time that was extended for whatever reasons, if it's selfish or not. Let's don't have that happen again. So the next time, it is very possible, and it should be very soon, the Constitution needs to be amended, many parts of it. Okay? I want to congratulate the team of lawyers who stood out and stood steadfast in the process. And it appears to be victorious. But it's not that. What happened there is democracy won, in my opinion. Democracy won. Okay? Now we need to get on with the business of doing what needs to happen in a manner in which it's applicable, meaning that we don't need to create nothing, no ruckus. We know what needs to happen. Let's put our heads together, make it happen. Okay? Let the people again decide who they want to govern them. Okay? And let's change the Constitution, the first opportunity we have, so that the nonsense wouldn't happen again. All right? So, that's my take on it. I think that some persons are disappointed, some persons are happy, but in the end, Guyana won. But we need to change the Constitution so that Guyanese lawyers can interpret it and make the decision, and we won't have to waste all that time and money in the future. That's my take, because that money, like I said, could have gone towards some institution that could have made a difference in our economy, in the youths. You know, we need to think about them, because that's the generation that's coming. Okay? Maybe I need to run, and many persons are behind me to run. Doc, you need to run. You know, run and go where? maybe I could be in an advisory committee somewhere the next time, so that we could put some good heads together and help to make good decisions for our country. Right? Maybe we can do that. But I think I am quite content with taking care of sick people. We need more persons to do that, and we need more institutions to do that. But if that's what my will is supposed to be, to govern and to lead and to run and whatever, God will do that for me. He will make it happen so that I can't resist it. Right? Many persons are behind me to do this. Not only here, many places. Doc, you need to run. Doc, you need to run. Not so easy, you know. Governing this country is not so easy, but it's easy. I'm telling you that. I don't need a whole slew of people to do it. I need about 12 people to do it with myself. And we can run it properly. We need to start delegating more. We need to find more responsible people to put in positions who know what they need to do. You know? It doesn't take much. It's like a big business that you govern in. And you have all the people in Guyana who are employed looking for your right decisions to make sure that they continue to live good lives. Right? There are lots of things that need to be done. Many things need to be done. And we need some serious, committed humanitarians at the helm, you know, making those decisions that are necessary to ensure that our people are taken care of and not people coming from all over the place. Take care of home first. The people who are here, the pensioners, the people on the street, the youths that are coming out of college and have no place to work, the people who are driving taxis now that have skills that want to do those things that they used to do. You know, we need to create facilities that people can come here and want to open businesses so that the folks can find jobs to take them through life without too much of a headache. We need to be producing more. Instead of importing so much, we need to be producing more. Okay, I can get into a lot of things. People talk about the dollar the IMF said the dollar is in the economy is better and all of that. Well, I have a very simple analysis that I use that tells me that we're doing better. Okay? If we're doing better, my dollar should be worth more. If we're doing better, I should be able to have people who are on the streets now with skills working. If we're doing better, we should be producing more. If we're doing better, we should be earning more. We should be exporting more. If we're doing better, when we go with our $1,000 bill anywhere in the world, it should be able to be accepted at a value that is credible. We are 200 and something to 1 now. That doesn't tell me we're doing good. We were 2.5 to 1 way back in the years, and we just keep slipping and slipping and slipping. Now we're 200 and something to 1 US. Okay? That tells me that we're not doing so good. We're borrowing more. We're borrowing more. That tells me we're not doing much. We're in debt more. We're not doing much. Not any better. So whoever comes up with these things about we're doing better, in my opinion, that's questionable. You might not like me and what I said. Some of you don't understand, and you have all these technical things that you say. But when my dollar has strength in different countries, and my dollar will go further in our own economy, and I can get more for it, then we're doing better. You know, the money sounds like a lot. How much money you earn? Oh, I earn like $40,000 a month. Really? $40,000 a month is a lot of money. Depends on who you tell, where they're from, and what they know about our dollar. Because $40,000 is under 200 US. Okay? It's under 200 US. And if that's what you're working for a month to live in this economy, it can't go very far. The rent alone in many places is $40,000 a month or more. So if you're working for $40,000, you can't even live in a place because you got to pay rent, you got to pay water bill, you got to pay electricity bill, you got to pay all kind of thing. So don't tell me that we're doing so well. $40,000 years ago was a lot of money. Today it's not a lot of money. Okay? So all of you who believe that we're doing well, I wish you well. Maybe you're doing well, but the masses are not doing well. All right? I want to get to the point where we're at the half-hour mark and we can take some calls so that I can answer your health questions, because the state of the economy affects many persons. Many persons. Many children leave home without breakfast. Many children come home and there's no dinner. If we're doing well, then it's supposed to happen. Now, there's some people who don't want to work. We know that. There's going to be that. But let the jobs be there so that they can at least know that we have an option. Okay? And those who want to work will be able to find good jobs that are paying enough so they can take care of themselves and their families. Right? Because when you can't eat good, you're going to get sick. When you can't sleep good, you're going to get sick. When you have nothing to do in your home whole day doing nothing, you're going to get sick. Okay? And we have a whole lot of people. If we were to do a serious investigation as to the unemployment rate in each region, the unemployment rate in each region, we're going to be stunned at the numbers. So we're not doing so good. Don't let nobody fool you. Right? If we were doing so good, we would have had to import people to work because we have so many jobs available. Okay? The other thing is that we need to spend some time investing in institutions that can take the people who have not finished high school and help them to learn something, to be able to be marketable, to be able to learn a skill, to produce, to do something that is productive, to make a contribution to society. Many persons who are not working have not finished high school. They've not gone to college. Many, many, many. What are we going to do with them? Give persons incentive to create institutions so that we can put knowledge into their heads or skills into their heads and hands so that they can do things to make life easy for themselves. And the crime is going to go down and the problems are going to be less that we have. Okay? I am seeing so many people that are sick with all sorts of things, and I don't want to spend time talking about the chemicals and the metals, lead, mercury, cadmium, robotoxins, insecticides. I'm seeing so much in people on a daily basis. I'm wondering, how are we going to be a healthy nation if you're exposed and are consuming matter that contains so much of the things that we don't need that will make us sick. That's why we're having so much cancer. That's why we're having so much heart problems. That's why we're having so much diseases of all sorts. That's why your immune system can't fight, because you're loaded with toxins. Okay? So we need to create institutions that can manufacture toxic neutralizers and detoxifiers and things like that. Needs to happen. I can talk about a lot of things, right? But the phone is ringing off the hook. So let me see if I can start taking calls. Good evening. I can get that one.
Hello.
Good evening.
Pleasant good evening to you, sir.
My brother.
How are you?
I'm good. Good. How you doing?
I cool, man. I just cool.
Wonderful.
No, I don't like to get into politics. I
Me
always
too.
like to be balanced.
Me like politics neither, but we can't help it.
But I like to be balanced. I like to speak where wrong is wrong and right is right, and where is a spoon, let we call it a spoon, or where is a spade. Don't say it's a spoon and a spade when you're going to tear him out the way.
Some people don't know the difference.
You got to. There's the problem. No, I overheard you saying that they need to change the constitution so that it could be interpreted.
Interpreted easier.
I mean, we can't see eye to eye in everything.
Yeah.
The constitution could be interpreted if you want to interpret it.
If you want to interpret it correctly.
Obviously. And I've heard you talking about exporting. What are we going to export? Mr. Burnham did a long time now.
Let me see. We're exporting people.
Okay. Then we call human trafficking.
No, that's human marketing.
You see? We got serious issues. And I believe the time too we're going to national service and easy for come back now. Don't mean it's billions of dollars more you got to borrow. When it's going to come off on our children back? Our children look like prophecy going pass we by and we can't pay the debt.
We're gonna borrow to do that again. We can reinstitute and we can get private people. You know, we can do. There's a lot of things that can happen. There are lots of things that can happen to make contributions to an industry like that, because the industry will benefit the country, right? Like I said earlier, instead of taking the monies and doing things like what was just done, that money could have gone towards, you know, putting things in place to even if you started small.
This is my view. I don't want to be long. This is my view. I mean, the national service was good. I am a product there, right? But what I'm saying now, the money is going to cost to reinstate that institution. I believe what we should do is just cut it down and let people go and farm without the uniform.
Everyone is not going to be a farmer, and I wish that was the case, right? We need people to do other skillful things, brother. You know that. We need people to learn to make things that can make life easy for many others. We need farmers, lots of farmers, because farming can create industries themselves.
Anything
right?
we're going to make have to come from the soil.
Most of it, yes, most of it.
Everything may come from the soil. Up to the cell phone came from the soil because the aluminum bring what the thing name and then from the aluminum and everything is from the soil. And if we're going to talk about planting chip, coconut roll and cassava, coconut biscuit and them things like the olden days, we got to go back to the soil. If we're going to talk about cassava bread and all these things, we got to go back to the soil.
You're not wrong in most
flour
cases.
for come back, we got to go back to the soil.
You're not wrong in most of the things you're saying. You're not wrong.
You know, I don't understand. I don't understand. And if the people got this country at heart, I am saying to both people, the both party, you don't have to get a one man run away. All you got to do, the opposition work. If it's a prime ministerial position, the widow take the presidency, and you work together.
You need a one-party thing.
To work together.
Like a one-party situation.
We got to work together and let the youths form a party that they could get a voice to represent the youths in parliament.
Well,
I believe there is so much balance. You know, that is why we call democracy and not democracy, or autocracy.
That's a tough one to be instituted, because we have a lot of people who are selfish and greedy and want power. So what are you going to do? How are you going to share that?
Thing that they say that the sea getting contaminated now with mercury, it's time we stop selling fish and start thinking about others.
Yes, that's a fact.
You know what I mean? We got problem, we got issue. We got too much of issue.
Well, we have our own waters in some places that are
a beautiful country and a blessed country like Guyana, with this small population. Now we got all side of people coming to this country. Look, I was so annoyed when I overheard that one Brazilian could have shot a Guyanese police 4 times with a pistol. Then he turned up with a liar. He ain't supposed to get bail in me country. What's going on? We don't have rights.
I hope that who needs to hear are hearing, because you can't. I was reading something someone sent to me about what Mr. Putin stated. I don't know if it's true or not. It could be fake news. But he said that that a foreigner can come here. This is what it could be fake news, right? A foreigner can come here and buy land and own land and commit situations and get away with it. But a person from here can't go in a foreign land and do hardly anything like that and get away with it.
Obviously, It's only now we get friends since we get in the aisle. Now they hear about the aisle, we get the people that sit down on the depotee or the turnback bench. They give them an interest to go to because we getting a lot of friends. But anybody could come here and do anything, everything as they feel like. Just like how we come, like how Miss Janet, they come here and be president. Who could have gone in another country from Guyana and turn president? You can't even go in America and turn, what you call it, what you call them people, they say, from Guyana. No, they don't want you there. They'll give that to the citizen. Certain things you can't go, not even garbage work, they won't give you.
That's where we have to look at our constitution
You get my point?
and make. You're not wrong in a lot of things you're saying, but we have to make laws that protects the citizens, protect our countries, protects our rights, and not give people the easy access to what they do. You know, but the forum for that, we're gonna have it, right?
Who cares what they do?
We're gonna have a forum where we can talk about that.
Obviously. Thanks so very much for your time and cooperation. Just give me respect and regards to them Ruth and the missus.
You keep farming, okay?
Obviously.
You keep producing, all right?
That's what the father gave me from birth.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you. And I hope that you teach some of the youths the value of producing from the soil because you're good at it. You know, get some of those youths, maybe hold some forums, you know, maybe visit some churches, talk with the youths there, get permission from the pastors, and maybe form something that, some sort of a society you can call it, youth farming, whatever you want to call it. You know, I had the good word in my head, but it just went away. But you can call it anything you want, but just get the young people to understand the value of production, producing from the soil, because they gotta eat. We all gotta eat. You know, we gotta wear. The cotton comes from the soil. I mean, they're making synthetic cotton now with plastic and all that. I've seen that. But we gotta eat. We gotta wear. We gotta live. We gotta ride or drive. We gotta. You know, we don't even produce a simple bicycle in Guyana. You know, and we have people who have to walk and go places when they could be riding going places. And then we don't even have roads with the parapet in most places that they can walk and ride properly or safely. You know, so we have a lot of things that need to happen here, and it's a task that is not very difficult to do. But you've got to get the right people with the right mindset, with the right, you know, the right ability, you know, the right vision, the right vision for people, for development, for progress, for things like that. You got to have that. Let's see. Good evening.
Good evening, Dr. Hussein.
Good evening to you. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Turn the volume of your television down a little bit.
I am calling on connection with Black Ball Soul.
Okay, turn the volume of your television down for me a little. We're getting a feedback, an echo like in the back.
Yes, trying to get it done.
Well, you can move away from it. Don't stand so close to it.
Okay. Yes. So I called to get a remedy of this gallstone.
All right, it's a very simple one. First of all, you've got to cut the fats. Okay?
But the
Cut the fried foods. Cut out the fats. If there's gallstone, you don't need to use any fats because fats contribute to gallstones. Okay? Secondly, you've got to do some exercise or some sort of activity that can increase your metabolic rate so you can burn yourself. Burn some fats, right? Thirdly, there's something called olive oil and lemon juice. Okay? Now, the lemon juice has to be equivalent to the amount of olive oil you're going to use, not in a heated state, in a state that is of a body temperature. You don't want to heat olive oil because it becomes dangerous. So you mix the two together, same equal amounts, and you shake it up, and you take about 2 tablespoons, maybe twice or 3 times a day, just like that. You just keep taking it, cut off the fats, and eventually, soon enough, you're going to begin to pass what you think you're not going to pass. It'll come out of your system.
Okay.
Simple lemon juice and olive oil.
Lemon juice and olive oil.
Or you can use extra virgin coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil, extra virgin coconut oil with pure lemon juice from the lemon.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. So make the same amount.
Same amount, yes. And take it.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, when you call and your phone rings, immediately turn your volume down, because when you answer the phone, we're going to have a feedback here. And I allow that because, you know, it wasn't so bad, but we don't want that. Good evening.
Hello, Doctor.
Good evening. How do you do?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm just listening to your word of advice, and I am seeing that you're hitting a lot of points on this topic that you're going on with here. Is that the truth? Because there's a lot of stupidness. We are laughing stock. We was laughing stock all over the place already, all over the world. Now we became more laughing stock with the stupidness that we have a politician. I'm not talking about only this one here. The one too. You know, these two main parties, like they own Guyana.
Well, it's the people who make them believe that.
But that is truth.
It needs to change.
Now, don't see, when we talked about this, the AFC was coming to be the third force. The AFC now turned hook up with one of them. And nothing good. Nothing good can come out of this.
What do you think should happen?
I think they should have somebody there, some other party that could, because these two is no good. Vote them out completely. And that is the only way we're going to strive. Look how much years you put the two of them together. None of them make no good. Not truly.
I wonder if it's a few of us who believe that.
No, but this is what I am seeing.
No, but you're not seeing wrong.
No, I'm not
And-
seeing
and
wrong,
I-
because
I-
I didn't went to school and I ain't got all these subjects and all these things. That was waste of time anyway. So it's a good thing I never school on. That's me. You know, you got these people who you feel that got all the qualification and what have you, and they're just making Guyanese a fool all the time.
We are a laughing stock because we have to have other people interpret what we write.
Now, the foreigners, this is what I see a hit. The foreigners, the Venezuelans could come here. They take away your man, all kind of thing. They're taking away everything. The Cubans come in, they take away the whole region street. You can't go in the store because they got some hell of a big bag. And these people, them lad is bad.
Well, the thing about that, which is not so bad,
Right now in this country.
is that they're spending the money in Guyanese stores.
So what is
However,
not Guyanese stores? The Chinese and them, and Chinese don't give nothing to nobody.
me the one said up.
Don't support them all the time.
Me-
They never support you.
I didn't want to say that, but
But I'm telling you that. You go in border market, they pick up a bundle border, how much it is? The man, woman tell them so much, they put them down back, they make up their face, they're gone. You know, you can't go in the restaurant, you got to pay first before you can get Chinese fried rice or you know, these stupidness, you know, I am irritated. Every Thursday I make sure to sit down and listen to you.
what should we do? Tell me what we should do. What should we do?
No, even if I tell you what we could do, it make no sense, you know. I want to join force with you. You better run for truth.
You know how many people asking me to do that?
I want to join force because, you know,
I don't know.
we need a third force. We need a third force that we could trust. We have no trust in no politician right now.
When
All
you-
of them telling you
you start
they
the
can do this
petition.
and they can do that.
You start a petition and get the people, and I will consider.
Yes, because this is what's happening. I don't mind giving you my vote, you know, sir. I tell you, I don't mind giving you my vote because I fed up with this stupidness.
There's thousands of people fed up.
Man, but we can't do nothing. It's like they got me hand tie up, man.
We allow them to tie our hands.
Yes, because I thought this one here saying they come to work with us now. You can't even see none of them. They got must be about, let me see, 34 minister.
I will run this country with 12 men and women.
I heard you.
Seriously.
34 minister. None of them you put all together and then they even full up one bag.
12 men and women with myself, and I will run it.
All these people supposed to get jail. Look, they know they're illegal and they're gonna embarrass the money. Who pay in the back?
All right, darling.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your contribution.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. I am certain that there are some people who wouldn't agree, but there's a lot of people who feel this way. Lots of people. Good evening.
Good evening, Doctor.
Turn your volume down for me,
Now,
please.
when,
Turn on your volume of your television.
yeah, hear me now?
Better.
When Mr. Sharma was running for,
Man, is a health program, you know. Yeah, I'm making this thing a political one.
well, just listen to me carefully from that what that last caller was saying.
Uh-huh.
He did so much for the people. How many people voted for him? If he didn't collate, he wouldn't have been in Parliament to have a say today.
I like Mr. Sharma, you know. He's a straight-up man.
AFC didn't collate because it said they want new people. The AFC did farm a party. They did not vote for AFC. AFC had to collate with APNU. What else these people want?
You know, they didn't have to, you know. If they had
If they
gone,
didn't do that
if they had gone on their own, I think that they would have been stronger. Today they would have been stronger.
in Parliament, and we will be still going through these things. Look, Doctor, you need to listen and listen carefully, because as far as I'm concerned, what she's saying, it doesn't make any sense. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Thank you. So what he's saying is that we are hung by the two because we're not thinking out of the box. That's my interpretation. So it doesn't matter what happens outside of the box, people will go back inside the box. I think it's going to change though. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Dr. Yates.
Good evening, sir. How you doing?
That was spoken. It was just interesting. I know what health you're supposed to be on. But it's the health we're dealing with because, like the lady said, everybody's like going crazy. So it's mental health we're dealing with here.
Hey,
And they need you to get up to mental health. I'm hearing them. By being the person there with the 12 ministers.
12 ministers, 12 persons, and myself, and I think we can do an enormous amount of work here that can change.
Yeah.
Because listen, you've got to learn to put the right people in the right places and delegate. We've got to learn to delegate.
First of all.
You know, we cannot want to micromanage everything.
Right.
And then you've got to get people who are trained in the areas, understand what is needed. Not only in the areas of work, in the areas of managing people.
Right.
You've got to be humanitarians to understand how important it is to take care of people.
Right.
Their needs, you know?
I think that the simplicity is what we're lacking. Wisdom is found in the simplest place. And you all touched on it. The simplest is this. The only people you can put are those who joining with the people. That's the problem. There's no other problem. That's the reason why I speak about Barnum all the time. Because you saw that when the people directly, not with a spoon from a distance,
Yes.
directly walk there, hear the questions, hear the answer. That's why he was so wise.
You got to walk in
You
the...
have the wisdom, I have the wisdom, the lady have the wisdom. We know what the problem needs solving. Not an outreach. That is daily business. You know, the minister got former secretary, they could do the work. They're supposed to walk the streets. But remember everything people wanted, and they said one thing, even the enemy said it.
I remember...
Then he gave you a promise. He said he can do something, he always did.
I remember...
More time, what we can talk.
I remember clearly, and don't go yet. I remember clearly when I was a little boy, and my mother was doing her business. I can vividly see the eyes and the face of Mr. Barnum and Mr. Hamilton Green walking the streets of Linden, coming to the marketplace, and touching hands with people around the place. I remember that clearly.
Constantly.
Clearly remember that.
I know people in Costellogan scheme. I used to go in my them and not harass the brethren
And listen to me. They ain't coming when it's election time.
No,
They're coming all the time.
no, all the time.
All the time. They want to know what
I
is the
go in by
problem.
them and I see heap of bamboo outside there, long lengths of bamboo. I said, man, where I bring all the bamboo from? He said, it's Burnham bring it. Because he come by and he say how we in got kitchen garden. And we tell you the cows mashing it down.
Look at that.
Because the fence broken, right? Paling staves, right? And Burnham brought bamboo, long bamboo delivered right there in Cotsley House.
He didn't bring it maybe. He made sure it was delivered.
He made sure it was delivered.
Yes, yes.
You know the bamboo left there, right?
Wow.
I'm telling you, I'm just showing you the lengths to which Burnham went with people. And he will bring cutlasses and things and all of that. And he inquires why you don't got a kitchen garden.
Some people wouldn't agree with me, but he was the only president I know that really made a difference here.
It is simple. God said, wisdom is found in the simplest places. I stopped working Burnham time, you know. It has nothing to do with Burnham. Because when I turned Rasta, I realized who got me alive. And I realized it ain't president, it ain't parliament, it ain't government, it ain't job, it ain't money. It's the Almighty alone, the Creator. Money is just a tool people use to scam people. But reality, if Mr. Haynes doesn't do the work, you can get $1 billion, you're going to die. You understand?
Yeah.
It is people who work. It is people, and if you don't value people, you're a real ignorant person and a parasite.
Okay, my
But
brother.
you cannot live and comfortable without people. You're going to clean your yard. You're gonna make your shirt, your pants, your hat, fix the car. You cannot do these things without other people, and that is the nasty thing about people who come and say they're politicians. Unless you deal with the people, you are nothing but a parasite.
Okay, my brother.
Yes.
Thank you.
Let me take up more time. Well,
All right.
very much.
Good, bye. Now, I want you to know that those are person's opinion, okay? Other person's opinion, right? This is not political. A political program, but people are, I guess it's a season again, you know, and the decision just being made and the elections going to happen and all, and still nobody knows it's the season. But you know what? There are many persons who are stressed out over what is going on, what has happened, and they don't know what will happen. Please don't be stressed out. Just take your prayers to the Almighty, and He will help to solve all our issues. Good evening.
Good evening, Doc.
Good
It's
evening.
me again.
Oh my.
The thing about it, no, I feel that this thing will cause the whole topic now become political.
Man, don't worry. Don't let me go down the road no more.
Oh, I know, but this is what happens. Whenever you talk the truth, you always have problems. When you see things, people cover them. They cover it down. The wrong things they are pulled with, and the truth can go. That is what causing this problem in Guyana. If everybody could stand up and talk, this is not true. What the politicians them should do is sign now. If the 100 day they can't give us their promise, come out. They don't have no election no more. Get out. That is what
No, but
they're supposed to do.
they can't just get out. We have to have people who are looking over us somehow, you know.
Saying they are getting away with too much of a crime, because if you got things that you have in your manifesto and you can't deliver in the 100 days you claiming that you're going to give this and you're going to give that, even if it's 1 year and you can't deliver, you need to get out.
That's what the people need to put in place.
That is what they're supposed to be doing.
All right, sweetheart. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye. All right, one day we're going to have a forum to discuss state of things. Okay? State of things. But this is a health program. And I can't seem to be able to get into my health program. Right? Maybe I should not have touched on the decision. But it was difficult not to, because, you know, I mean, it just happened, and we need to put things in perspective, and we need to calm people down. This decision is not about, you know, a war or anything like that. It's about people coming to a realization that we need to restructure things. We need to come together and make a difference in our society. We need to look at protecting our citizens versus protecting others first. You know, we need to protect everyone that's here in our land, but we need to make sure that we take care of our people first and foremost. You know, let's get the kids who are finishing college someplace so they can work and earn a living. Let's get the homeless into some place where they could become contributors. You know, all the kids on the streets doing nothing, find something for them to do. Good evening. Maybe is one line working. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Dr. Hayden. I'm the person with the gallstones. I think to put the even amount of
of extra virgin olive oil or coconut oil with lemon juice.
All, not the two, three together.
No, just one or the other.
Oh, okay.
All right?
And drink it how much time?
It depends on the size of the stone. We didn't get into that, but
The size